severely bullied workers may suffer a variety of health consequences, including depression and anxiety disorders. Bullying can also diminish productivity and morale and lead to higher absenteeism and turnover. It can even increase employee benefit cost and the risk of legal action. Here is a video to watch. Video courtesy of M-Train.
No, I agree. I can fit 4 to 5 in my SUV, which isn't quite the whole infield.
John, the boss on phone.
But somebody's got to step up. I mean, oh, she did? Okay, great. Then she can take the rest of the kids and you can bring the equipment. Listen, I got to go. Somebody's in my office. Okay. All right, I'll catch you later.
Female employee, Heather, seated at desk.
So, I looked over the results of your project, and I got to ask, were you even using your brain? I mean, this is really off.
I know, and I'm sorry, but the production team couldn't pull the rest of the data until tomorrow. Did you see my email to Sophia about it?
I don't care about your email to Sophia. That's not her job. Any idiot could have done this, except for you. Oh, Jared, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Apparently, Heather is incapable of doing her own job, so I'm going to need you to take over this, okay? I'm not going to waste any more time on this.
Sure, no problem. But I can't get to it till Thursday. I'm full up.
No, that's fine. So Heather, get Jared the details. Jared, end of the week is going to be just fine.
Embarrassed, Heather tries to smile and nods. Jared sitting on sofa with laptop. Female colleague comes in.
Hey, happy Friday.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, just finalizing this for John. Heather was supposed to do it, but she screwed it up. John was not happy.
Really? She's been helping us on a couple things. Seems fine so far.
Yeah, well, I'd keep an eye on her. John says she's a mess. I wouldn't be surprised if he cans her.
Wow, I
Heather
had
walks in
no
15 feet
idea.
away.
Good to know.
I'm Joan, and I'm a transgender woman. My coworker, Pete, continues to call me Joe, which was my name before I transitioned. Pete objects to me using the woman's restroom. Pete also refers to me as a man. I've asked him to stop this behavior, but nothing changes. I feel very disrespected and want this to stop.
Lesson. Intentionally calling a transgender person the name they used prior to transition is called dead naming. Dead naming is considered harassment. In addition, intentionally using the incorrect pronoun is considered harassment. Demanding that an employee use a particular bathroom that doesn't correspond to their gender identity, or objecting to their use of a bathroom that corresponds with their gender identity, is harassment.
I'm Fatima. I'm a chef at a popular restaurant and recently had a baby. Samantha, the head chef, is very rude if the food is not prepared perfectly. Samantha is very unhappy that I take breaks to lactate. Samantha regularly yells at me and uses derogatory language to describe my national origin. When I make an error in cooking a meal, Samantha will throw a glass plate at me. I need to feed my baby and feel scared and embarrassed. I don't think I should have to listen to this abusive language from Samantha.
Lesson. By law, workplaces must allow for employees to lactate during work hours. Sexual harassment can overlap with other forms of discrimination. In this example, Samantha, the boss, is using derogatory language based upon national origin while talking to Fatima. This behavior is bullying and is considered harassment and illegal.
I'm Mina, and I work as a seamstress at a large clothing factory on a warehouse floor. I am a Muslim woman and wear a hijab. Every time I see one of my co-workers, he asks if he can see my hair. Today he said, "Does your boyfriend get to see your hair? I'd love to be the guy to take that hijab off." I am tired of this. I just want to do my job.
Lesson. Mina is being harassed because she is Muslim. People who wear religious attire are particularly at risk for employment discrimination, verbal harassment, and physical assault. Religious discrimination and harassment are illegal. Mina is also being harassed based upon gender. This is because women wear hijabs, and the sexual comment, "I'd love to be the guy to take that hijab off."
Legal definitions. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo is a type of sexual harassment. It is when
someone demands sexual favors in exchange for employment benefits, or someone demands sexual favors by threatening negative employment action. Another type of unlawful sexual harassment is called a hostile work environment. A hostile work environment occurs when there is unwelcome behavior related to a legally protected characteristic, pervasive or severe, unreasonably interferes with an individual's ability to do their job. Hostile work environments can be directed at a specific employee, directed at others but witnessed by employee, or widespread sexual favoritism. It generally takes a pattern of behavior to reach the level of a hostile work environment. However, if behavior is severe, one comment alone can create a hostile work environment. Hostile work environments can be directed at a specific employee. A receptionist is subjected to regular requests for a date and crude jokes from a delivery driver. Directed at others. A teammate discusses sexual activities and is very demeaning to women at every staff meeting. This teammate has created a hostile work environment for all members of the team and anyone witnessing the staff meeting. Widespread sexual favoritism. The boss, John, regularly flirts with the women in the office. John has only promoted and given bonus to the women he has dated on his team in the last 5 years. John does not consider work experience or ability to work on a team when promoting employees on his team.
I'm Kaya. I work on a construction site as an engineer. Often, male employees make crude comments about women they see walking down the street. The construction workers make comments about women's breasts and buttocks and whistle and catcall at women. They talk about their sexual conquests over the weekend, often showing nude pictures of the women they slept with on their phones. All of this makes me very uncomfortable. I asked my coworkers to stop this raunchy talk. The men told me to stay out of their business. I feel very hurt.
Lesson. It does not matter if there is sexual desire by either party. Sexual harassment does not have to be motivated by sexual desire. A hostile work environment is present even if the comments were not directed to them. The comments made by Kaya's coworkers were unwelcome behavior. It does not matter that the comments were not specifically about Kaya. The comments were about a protected class and interfered with Kaya's ability to do her job. It does not matter if the comments were not directed toward Kaya. Unwelcome and inappropriate behavior creates a toxic environment by those who hear or see the conduct, even if not directed toward that person who is offended. Yes, this is sexual harassment and a hostile work environment.
Complaints and retaliation. Taking formal action is another option to address harassment. This can include the following. 1. Telling your supervisor or filing a formal complaint with your employer. 2. Filing a formal complaint with the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, DFEH, California State Department, or with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, Federal. 3. File a private lawsuit. Things to expect when you tell your supervisor or file a complaint with your employer. When you tell your supervisor, the supervisor is required to investigate the allegations. The supervisor cannot guarantee confidentiality. They must also inform their manager and/or HR. Things to expect when filing a formal complaint with your employer, DFEH, or EEOC. A formal investigation will occur. Typically, this will include case assigned to an investigator. A prompt, thorough, and fair investigation is completed. Interviews are completed with witnesses, complainant, and respondent. All relevant documents are reviewed. A final written report is completed. The findings are communicated in a confidential manner to the parties. How to file a complaint. File a formal complaint with the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, DFEH, State. The complaint must be filed within 3 years of the last act of harassment or retaliation. Contact DFEH at phone number 800-884-1684. Address 2218 Cawson Drive, Suite 100, Elk Grove, California 95758. Website www.dfeh.ca.gov. DFEH has an online complaint system called CCRS. It is easy to use. You can file online, provide documents, email, and check the status of your case. To use, go to www.dfeh.ca.gov. Click on the CCRS button. Create an account. Then choose what you would like to do today. Things to do when you file a formal complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, Federal. Contact EEOC at phone 800-669-4000 or website www.eeoc.gov. Final things to know. Your employer cannot force you to withdraw your claim. In California, even if you sign an arbitration agreement, you can talk about the facts of your case. Arbitration agreements do not prevent filing a complaint with DFEH. Retaliation. Retaliation is punishing someone speaking up about sexual harassment or other forms of discrimination or harassment. Any retaliation is against the law. Retaliation can happen after someone opposes sexual harassment, reports or files claims of sexual harassment, participates in an investigation of sexual harassment. Retaliation includes things such as demotions, threats, changes in assignments, failing to communicate, or being subject to gossip. Retaliation. Example: Pat is a software developer at a tech company and has filed a sexual harassment suit due to Shaw's, her boss's, behavior. As a result, Shaw has assigned Pat to work in a substandard basement not used by other staff and cut off her ability to work overtime. Is this retaliation? Yes. Moving an employee to the basement office and cutting off overtime is an act of retaliation and is illegal because Pat filed a sexual harassment complaint. Note: retaliation is unlawful even if the conduct the employee originally complained about isn't found to be harassment. What should you expect from your employer? You should expect the following. 1. Paid work time to take a sexual harassment prevention training every 2 years. 2. A sexual harassment prevention policy. 3. Investigation of all sexual harassment complaints brought to your employer's attention. 4. No retaliation. Employers must legally have the following in place. 1. A written anti-sexual harassment policy. 2. An anti-sexual harassment poster in an obvious place. 3. An anti-sexual harassment fact sheet given to new employees. And 4. A sexual harassment prevention training for workers every 2 years. Links to the poster and fact sheet can be found in the resource section at the end of the training.
I'm Lourdes. I am a nanny. The family I work for is renovating their home. The construction workers are always there. One of them tells me how beautiful I am and how I should smile more. He asks me out every day. I always say I am not interested. It bothers me, especially because he does it in front of the kids. I told the mother of the family. She said that it doesn't sound that bad and that I should just tell him to stop.
Lesson. The construction worker asks out Lourdes every day at her workplace. Her workplace is the family's home. Repeatedly asking someone out and them saying no is sexual harassment. Since the mother is the employer and she knew of the harassment, she must stop the sexual harassment or risk personal liability. Observation. People who work in small or isolated workplaces are at greater risk for sexual harassment. Examples of vulnerable workers: nannies, cleaners of hotels, offices, or homes, home health aides, farm workers, and security guards. All workers, even if they are the only employee, have workplace rights.
Final thoughts on a workplace of respect.
Let's go back to where we started. Organization climate is the #1 factor in determining if harassment will occur in your workplace. How we treat each other in the workplace makes a difference. Let's take a moment to think about unacceptable behavior. Continuum: rude behavior, bullying behavior, illegal behavior. Problems in the workplace can start with rude or uncivil behavior that goes unaddressed. Silence equals acceptance to most people. Once this behavior is accepted, it will get worse. unprofessional behavior can turn into bullying or illegal harassment or assault in the workplace. Reflection. Let's take a moment to think of an example of when you failed to create a workplace of respect or failed to be an ally. What could you have done differently? Conclusion. We've covered a lot of material. We've discussed examples where unwelcome and harassing behavior is not acceptable. When the work environment does not include unwelcome or harassing behavior, we have work environments where everyone can do their best work and contribute to the success of the organization or company. It can be a workplace of respect. Your behavior is key. If you have questions, please ask your supervisor or HR department.